So my job at Cisco is to identify where we need to go from a security point of view, both from a product point of view and also the types of security features that we want to be adding into our switching, our routing, our wireless, our voice products, whatever it is. Even things like our new announced service-oriented network architectures. So I try to touch on every aspect of security. And something that's come out today that I think is very interesting is there's been a lot of talk about how security is effectively a tax that many companies are repeatedly having a hard time justifying dealing with. And I talk to a lot of CXO level, CIOs, CSOs, and even CEOs all over the world. And every time I come in, there frequently is this mixture of a lot of interest in what I have to say and also an expression of pain, because security is always a hard problem for them to understand. They tell me all the time about how painful it has been working with their security groups, figuring out the right budget, the fact that they continue to have outages even though they're spending a lot of money on security. And my feeling is that until we as an industry figure out more and more how to embed security in the fabric of the company's infrastructure, we remain a tax and we fail in what we're really about. And part of the reason I am at Cisco, after having been at 2 startups, I've been at Cisco 8 years since the company I worked for was acquired, is because I want to try to figure out which security features can migrate into the network infrastructure in such a way that they are much like TCP, a service that guarantees delivery of packets on top of IP. You can't do this for every security application, type of service, but we're trying to figure out which ones can be integrated tightly all the way down to a port level versus as a service that you may plug in terms of a hardware module or as an appliance or an application that you would layer on top. One of the challenges we see is that you can shove some things into a switch or a router and you can create a unified threat management type of appliance, but there are limits of what you can do, and there's a right place and a right way to insert things into infrastructure. We sell a lot of security gear. What we're starting to do is figure out how to allow customers such as yourselves to start leveraging what you've already got in more effective ways. My heart goes out to a lot of IT professionals who are trying to secure infrastructure. There's too much technology out there, if you ask me. There's already enough stuff out there. And what's happening is the ability to leverage it in more effective ways has been limited in part because the industry has been an industry of best-of-breed products and a lot of silos, and it has also, we've been a victim of our own cultures. Most companies have siloed IT organizations when it comes to data centers, networking, desktop security, telco. If you're really going to start securing infrastructure, all of these things must work together. And something that we are doing at Cisco more and more when we go out to talk about security with customers is we try to make sure that people who are responsible for each of those functions are in the same room with us. If they're not, we tell them that we're not sure we can fully